An arguable candidate for the worst defensive player of the year, James Harden was taking part in the festivities of All-Star Weekend in Toronto, and he was doing a part of a camp and shoot-around playing with the kids, which is a good thing. Obviously, everyone knows that James Harden is a very good person. We know that from all the stories. We also know he doesn't really play defense, so this is him teaching it. Wait for it.
The bumper for the tie. Bingo!
All good fun.
Sorry, I had to throw in the Clippers broadcaster using the bingo catchphrase when James Harden got crossed over. Sorry, I had to. So there's a lot of things funny about this video. One, we're taking it so out of context and so unfairly. And I need to let that be known, just because obviously he's not trying to play defense, and he's also not teaching defense. It's just perfectly headlined and perfectly titled from Next Impulse Sports. So credit to you guys. Right up there with Deadspin in that one. But Francis, James Harden is not a good defensive player.
No.
A lot of people in the comment section will say, oh, his offense is so good. His player efficiency rating ranked second in the NBA, second in the MVP voting last year, and he was. He's still a little bit different of a player this year. His defensive shot chart is shocking. Hence why I had to pull it up, thanks to NBA Savant, which is a Sport VU tracking. He lets guys shoot 51% from the corner, which is atrocious. Even worse, when he plays under the basket, he never switches to a man, he never picks up on help defense, and he's letting guys finish at 65%, 5% higher than the league average. I get it. Out on the three-point line and the top of the key, those areas where he pretty much is set normally for his defensive positioning, he actually holds guys to below their league average. So you get credit there, especially in such a hot shooting NBA from the three-point line. It's just the in general factor that there's a guy who is so overpowering offensively, and last year when he played just the slightest bit of effort towards defense, same as Carmelo Anthony, when he plays just the slightest bit of effort, they're good defenders.
Yeah, and in this league, it's all about player-by-player basis, right? So when you're playing James Harden, you're not going to play him against a direct shooter. Well, I wouldn't imagine you'd want to play him against someone who is such an efficient shooter, right? You're not going to play him up against anyone who can find that range from within specific parts of the court where he's so weak defensively. So that's where it's hard to judge. But at the same time, in areas specifically around the paint, you expect him to be a little bit more efficient, because that's where it starts to become more of a zone. Depends on how you run your team, but you need to really mark your territory, make sure to defend specifically in that area, and I still think he lets up too many shots. Now, nonetheless, it's a testament to how good he is offensively last year, when you can still, he's such a promising, he's such an overpowering athlete, as you mentioned, going forward, that it's almost annoying how good he could be defensively, right? I know when people are born defenders, but you can put that same effort into
That's, to me, what frustrates me most when it comes to Harden, is that last year, there was actually a video, it was about 15 to 20 games stretch, right? And someone took that and said, look, this is James Harden playing defense. Not sarcastically, not jokingly. He played great, I mean great defense. He did it for a good stretch. It's part of the reason the Rockets were better last year, is James Harden's heart was into the defensive end of the court for some of the season, and then he kind of just reverted back this year. To say he's careless about defense isn't fair, because no NBA player is careless about pretty much anything on the court. You can at least think that. Maybe Gilbert Arenas.
Dellavedova was actually marking a referee one time.
Well, Dellavedova's trying to take out refs, so that could be true. But in terms of Harden and his defensive capabilities, he should be able to play. That's why I think the video is so funny. Let's run that video back one more time for you guys.
And the thing is, so I understand it seems like we're just heaping on the criticism to him, but it's because of how well he could do it if he was just to apply a little bit more effort. So the same thing's frustrating with...
At this point, I don't sell James Harden's offense short. I get how amazing of an offensive talent as a pure scorer he is. It's unbelievable.
But it also frustrates me, especially if I watch the Bulls and Derrick Rose. I think also suffer. I just don't think he's gifted defensively, but at the same time, his effort frustrates me. And then when you look at someone like Steph Curry...
Derrick Rose can't turn on a 90-degree
I know. But you look at Steph Curry, right? We know he's not an avid one-on-one defender, but at times when Golden State defensively they shape up the way I watch it, it's very similar to how football is. But the same thing is they frustrate a player into an area which they don't want to be efficient in, which they're not efficient in shooting. And Steph Curry's job, I think, is just to try and nullify some space and push them towards tougher areas where Draymond can come in and try and defend more so. It's just to try and direct players into positions that they don't want to be. And sometimes with James Harden, it just seems with such a big body size, they bypass him. That's the only thing that I see.
Yeah, I agree. That's it. That's all we got for you. James Harden's defense is always within question, unless it's the 2014-2015 season. I'll say it all year long. Damian Lillard's a better player this year than James Harden is this year. I'll get off his back. Real quick, I know. Because usually when we talk about James Harden, I make fun of Dwight Howard. I experience back spasms. I will never make fun of you, Dwight Howard, ever again, and I sincerely apologize for ever making fun of you in the past. That is truthful. That is heartfelt. At TYT Sports on Twitter, at Francis_Maxwell, at Jason. We'll see you next week.